Hello Gemini, welcome to your reading. Hope you're all well. Thank you for tuning in. It is Thursday the 5th of March 2026. Going to do a general love tarot reading for you guys and see what you've got going on. Please take what resonates and leave what does not. Right, messages for Gemini in love. Okay, how many came out there? One. I'm gonna take that. Gemini, there you are. The Lovers in reverse. Messages for Gemini in love. Messages for Gemini in love. Right, the Lovers in reverse, the Ace of Wands in the upright, the Fool in reverse, and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Choice. There's some sort of disharmony here, imbalance. A choice to be made with regards to love or a person you are connected to. There is a potential to having some sort of new beginning, to take action, something that you are desiring, passionate about, wanting to happen. But there is some sort of disharmony, separation, choice to make. The Fool in reverse, not making that choice yet, not starting that new beginning yet, or feeling doubtful, holding yourself back, or making foolish decisions and jumping into something before you think about it properly. Or it can also, talk about blindly jumping in, naively jumping into something before you've thought it through properly. Page of Pentacles in reverse. That is not being really sure about what direction to take, what decision to make. Not a very stable, solid energy, the Page of Pentacles in reverse. He's not really sure what to do. Hasn't really got a plan, hasn't really got a direction, or he's not wanting to go towards something. He's not wanting to build on something, or he's not sure about building on something. So already there is a heavy energy of some sort of beginning that you're tempted by, but you're not sure about it. Or you've made some sort of decision before thinking, or you're holding yourself back from making a decision or going towards someone here. So, the Lovers in reverse. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. I am going to take that, because that is also feeling stuck but bored, and also going round in circles with something, getting bored of waiting on something, something is very, very slow here, going round in circles, or it's very stuck, it's very delayed. Something that you may be getting bored of waiting on or being patient with, or you're lacking the want to kind of deal with it or invest. There's something here that's resistant, lacking, or going around in a circle. Why is the Lovers here? I mean, that could... No, I'm going to leave him there. Right, so why is the Lovers here in reverse for Gemini in love? Why is the Lovers here in reverse for Gemini? Two of Swords in reverse. And there is that stuck, indecisive energy. Very stuck, very indecisive. Not sure which decision to make, which direction to go in. Holding back, or being stuck in just indecision, not knowing what to do about any of it. Why is the Ace of Wands here for Gemini in love? Five of Wands in reverse. So wanting to, or avoiding some sort of friction, tension, conflict, or avoiding making a decision because it might cause conflict, or it might cause some friction or tension, or just not wanting to deal with it, avoiding it, just not wanting to go there. Why is the Fool here in reverse for Gemini in love? Queen of Swords in reverse. So there could have been some conflict or some tension or some friction or some heated kind of communication or an argument, and there was some harsh words spoken, or there's a harsh decision that's been made, or there's something a little bit harsh here, a little bit cold, a little bit, you know, not great kind of an energy. Okay, so yeah, and that came out for the Fool in reverse. So doing something before you thought about it, or saying something before you thought about it, or making a decision impulsively before you thought about it, and it's caused some tension, friction. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Why is he here for Gemini in love? Ace of Swords in reverse. There's a kind of confusion here. There's that unsurety, the Page of Pentacles as well. You're looking for, there's a need for some clarity here, a need for some truth, some honesty, some clarity, some just a way out of this confusion, this unsurety, this frozen in indecisiveness. You're wanting clarity, or you're waiting for it from someone, or you're not receiving it, or there's a lack of clarity, there's confusion here. Quite a heavy energy of confusion and indecisiveness, and a lack of truth or clarity, or both. Knight of Pentacles in reverse energy. Why is he here for Gemini in love? Nine of Cups in reverse. So that could be, yeah, not quite happy, not satisfied, not emotionally fulfilled. It can also talk about holding on to something too tightly, or a selfish energy, a greedy energy. Or you feel that someone is selfish or cold, or a little bit harsh, or they're selfish or cruel, or there's something here about that. I'm getting that energy quite strongly. Two of Swords in reverse energy. Why is it here for Gemini in love? The Star in reverse. Feeling hopeless, doubting something, feeling a negative energy, not being seen, not being heard, not being understood, not being able to be yourself, not being able to live authentically, or say what you mean, or do as you feel, or there's just something there, and there's a loss of hope, faith, looking for a light in the dark, looking for a way forward, looking for a light to shine on the path so you can proceed or go forward or have clarity, however it resonates. Five of Wands in reverse. Why is it here for Gemini in love? Two of Swords in reverse again. Yeah. Completely frozen in indecision. If I go this way, it might be the wrong move. If I go that way, it might be the wrong move. If I do this, it might be wrong. Someone's on eggshells here. Someone's stepping on eggshells, or they don't want to step on eggshells because they're like really, they don't want to make a wrong move because it could cause conflicts, and they're just really treading on eggshells here. There's someone here that is a little bit hard to deal with. They're a little bit confrontational, or they're just a bit kind of yeah, you kind of avoid conflict with this person at all costs because they're quite sensitive, or they, you know, they fly off the handle maybe, or they take things the wrong way. They are hard work, I'm getting, for someone. Queen of Swords in reverse. Why is she here for Gemini in love? Eight of Wands in reverse. So more stuck, stagnant energy, or you're looking for communication from someone. You're looking for some sort of clarity or some sort of message or a talk, or you're looking for some sort of, yeah, you want to talk about something, or someone wants to talk about something, but you're not talking about it in case it causes conflict, or you're just waiting on some sort of communication that you're not getting, some sort of clarity you're not getting, or there's some sort of action that needs to be taken and it's not being taken. It's kind of very stuck again, very unclear, very stuck, very delayed, very stagnant. Ace of Swords in reverse. Why is he here for Gemini? Why is he here? The Ace of Swords. So this could be to do with a masculine. Okay. Why is he here? There's some friction between someone and someone else, and it's like, yeah, you're not on a good level at the moment. Why is he here? It might be a message for someone. Ace of Swords in reverse energy. Why is the Ace of Swords here in reverse energy for Gemini in love? Four of Cups. Disappointed. Dwelling on something. Who's always complaining? Someone's always complaining about something. Getting that for someone. Someone's dwelling on some feelings or some disappointment, or they're waiting on something. They're waiting on some sort of clarity, and they're kind of focused on this feeling, this emotion, this person, this connection, and they're kind of ignoring anything else. They're just kind of really dwelling on it, really frozen in it, really kind of, yeah. Why did I just get hell-bent on it? Someone's really hell-bent on something. But someone's feeling very dissatisfied, very disappointed, very fed up. Nine of Cups in reverse energy. Why is it here for Gemini in love? The Sun in reverse. So, yeah, again, that could be kind of a negative sort of down in the dumps feeling. It could also mean that the light is not being shone on something. It's a very dark energy. Looking for truth, clarity, looking for the light to be shone on something, looking for truth, looking for, sorry, I just said that, I seem to be repeating myself, but there's just someone's just fed up, disappointed, unhappy, or someone really does need some clarity. They need a light in the dark here. Why is the Star here in reverse for Gemini in love? Six of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, there's an imbalance here, or someone's not making an effort. Someone's not doing what they need to do. Someone's not on the same team. Someone's not working with you. Someone's making effort and someone's not. Someone's not, yeah, conflicted. There is someone here that is just not listening, or they're not wanting to communicate, or they're turning their back, or conversation is hard, communication is hard, getting on some sort of peaceful balance is hard. Yeah. Two of Swords in reverse. It's here twice for Gemini in love. Why is the Two of Swords here in reverse energy for Gemini in love? Page of Wands in reverse. Yeah. Someone could be acting immaturely, or someone's just not being very consistent or committed, or there's no real direction. Someone's energy is all over the place, impulsive, or acting, I'm getting acting immaturely, acting like a child, argumentative. Yeah. Eight of Wands in reverse energy. Why is it here for Gemini in love? Five of Pentacles, and someone feels rejected. Someone feels left out. They're at a loss. Yeah, someone's pushed someone out, or they're turning their back on someone, or they're being a bit harsh and cruel here. They're making someone feel really, you know, sad, upset, just, they're not being very nice. There's someone here that's just not being very nice at all. Four of Cups. Why is the Four of Cups here for Gemini in love? Judgment in reverse. And someone's not taking accountability for the way they're behaving. Someone's not talking, they're not taking accountability, they're not, or someone's not making a judgment call on something. Someone needs to deal with something they're not dealing with. But I'm getting more so that someone is not taking accountability for their actions, or they're not dealing with what they need to deal with, or they're just stubborn, not doing it. I'm getting stubborn, hard work, hard to deal with, pain in the butt. Why is the Sun here in reverse for Gemini in love? Queen of Wands. So Queen of Wands, someone is confident, determined, fiery. Very alluring, very tempting. Could be a choice here for someone. Although I'm between more than one person, but I'm kind of not really getting that too strongly. But someone is determined to, confident, determined that they can turn something around, or there is someone's a little bit too confident perhaps, or a little bit arrogant, a little bit too sure of themselves, possibly a bit of a drama queen or a drama king, or just, yeah. Six of Pentacles in reverse. Why is it here for Gemini in love? Knight of Cups. There could be a choice between more than one person here to make. Or someone is very charming, very romantic. I'm going to keep going a minute. Page of Wands in reverse. Why is he here for Gemini in love? King of Wands in reverse. Someone is very charming on the outside, but they are not quite the same person on the inside. Very charming when they need to be, when they want to be. But very unpredictable, very... just hard work I'm getting. Five of Pentacles. Why is it here for Gemini in love? Five of Pentacles in reverse, and I saw that before it came out. Yeah. There is an element of back and forth here. On and off. Fiery energies that get a bit too fiery and they boil over and it sort of turns into conflict. Someone who keeps getting disappointed over and over again. But there's someone here that's very, very charming indeed. Very alluring, very charming, very tempting. Judgment in reverse. Why is it here for Gemini in love? Four of Swords. Taking time out to rest, to renew, retreat. I'm getting retreat, stepping away, wanting to be by oneself, away from any conflict or friction or tension. Just needing time out from it all. Queen of Wands. Why is the Queen of Wands here for Gemini in love? Queen of Swords. Needing to, yeah, maybe taking time out in order to make a decision without emotion or conflict or tension. Just taking time out from the whole situation altogether to come back to logical thinking, come back to sensible, clear thinking without getting too attached to any sort of anything that's actually going on. Just taking time for oneself to calm the mind and to think rationally. Tell me about that Knight of Cups. Why is he here for Gemini in love? Knight of Wands in reverse. Yeah, and there he is. Like I said earlier in the reading, someone that's very charming, appears one way in one moment and completely sort of changes in the next. There's the Knight of Wands. There's the Knight of Wands there as well. But particularly the Knight of Wands in reverse came out for the Knight of Cups, which I think confirms what I said earlier. There's someone that's very charming, lovely, romantic on the outside, but they can change very quickly behind closed doors. I'm not saying that in an ultra negative, you know, I don't want to go too deep with that. You'll know how this resonates. But they're hard work. They're hard work, but they appear to be very different in certain, yeah, chameleon. They blend to their circumstances. They camouflage themselves. So tell me about the, oh sorry, the King of Wands and the Knight of Wands. I thought that was two kings, but same thing. Impulsive, behaviours all over the place, fiery energy that's just not contained, it's just nee, and it kind of just blows. So tell me about the King of Wands, the Knight of Wands in reverse. So yeah, okay, so someone as well, very charming, but not necessarily, I'm getting someone that's non-committal as well, okay? I'm getting someone that's very alluring, very charming, but not kind of, not really solid, not really stable, not really that committed. And also earlier I've got the energy of someone that keeps getting disappointed over and over again. Tell me about the King of Wands in reverse. Nine of Swords. And just someone, like I said, someone's just feeling fed up, yeah? Anxious, worried, fed up of it, trapped, indecisive, just not wanting, not knowing what to do about the whole situation, the thing, the whatever it is. But yeah, very very trapped in their thinking about it all. Five of Pentacles in reverse, the World. Now that could mean a distance, a separation. It could mean you feel distant from this person, or this person keeps their distance, unless of course it's for, well, they kind of come back in perhaps for a little bit of fire in their belly, a little bit of physical sort of intense, and then they distance again. Could also mean a completion. Something is complete, or something's going round in circles. And the, oh, that one flew. The want for harmony and completion and closure and clarity in one way or the other. Death in reverse. Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, a need for clarity and closure and truth, and just to iron this all out. But there's that resistance, and there's that avoiding the confrontation or avoiding dealing with this, stuck, not knowing how to deal with it, resisting it, not wanting to deal with it. Four of Swords, Page of Swords in reverse. Yeah. Someone's very charming here. They feel like someone is going to kind of manipulate them or charm them, talk them round. Queen of Swords. Why is she here for Gemini in love? Seven of Wands in reverse. And someone is absolutely flipping exhausted with the whole thing. One from the top of each deck. Nine of Wands in reverse. Some giving up, feeling overwhelmed. Looking at it from all, yeah, okay. Eight of Cups in reverse. Fear of change. Justice in reverse. Lack of balance. Someone's not making something right. Page of Wands. More unsure. Lacking direction. Fiery energy. The High Priestess in reverse. Someone's ignoring their intuition. Four of Cups in reverse. King of Swords in reverse again. Or that was the Queen. So now you've got the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords in reverse. That's someone that is very cold, very harsh, very cut off, very emotionally detached. Quite cruel, can be manipulative. This is, yeah. I'm going to put these into their suits for you, Gemini. One memento. All right. Yeah, heavy fire energy here. There's conflict. It's butting of heads, definitely. There are some harsh exchanges, conversations, heated arguments. Then they can be a bit harsh, cruel, or someone is just really cold, detached, really. There's a non-committal energy here. There's someone that's just wishy-washy. They don't do emotion. They're very charming. They show emotion when they need to. They're very charming when they need to be. But when things don't go their way, they're very they throw tantrums, I'm getting. That eggshell energy. There's some sort of beginning, but it ends up in conflict, and someone's just avoiding this. They're just turning their back to this because it just ends up in conflict. They're tired, they're worn out, they're stressed out, they've had enough, going round and round in circles. Someone knows what they need to do here and they're ignoring their intuition, or they're very fearful of change and they're kind of frozen in indecision. Someone here does not take accountability for their behaviour. And someone's left very confused, but someone's very kind of consumed with someone else's behaviour here. They allow them too much power. And just, yeah, this is just, I'm getting quite frustrated at this energy. Someone knows what they need to do, but they're not doing it for whatever reason, be it fear or not wanting to go into conflict, but someone here knows what they need to do. They know what choice they need to make, and they're not making it for whatever reason. But they're very unhappy. They're very unhappy, very confused, very fed up. And there is someone here that needs to rein in their fiery energy because they're just not very nice. I'm just going to say it. They're not very nice. They're rude. They're arrogant. They're harsh. They're cruel. They need a good sit down and a good telling off. And I said that very, very nicely. Someone's messing someone around here, and they just need to stop. They just need to stop and have a little word with themselves. I'm getting quite frustrated with whoever this person is. I'm going to probably leave it there, Gemini, because yeah, I'm really picking up this energy here. This is your reading. And obviously, if it resonates, then you'll know if it resonates, and it's your kind of, this is what's happening for you, and you'll do what you will with it. I hope it resonated. I'm sorry if it did, because it sounds like a really tiresome and yeah, just sounds like hard work. So I'm sorry that I had to be the one to bring this energy. Well, the cards did, I didn't. But yeah, if it resonated or if it helped, please, if you can find it in your strength after all this nonsense, to give it a thumbs up. Please do. If you would like more readings from me, please click the bell at the top of my page. You'll get notifications when I next do readings. But after this, you probably don't want to see another reading again. You'll get there, Gemini. Whatever it is you're dealing with, there's always a... Where's that star? There's always a light, and I better cover her up because she's naked. There's always a light in every situation, and the sun will always shine eventually. Oh, I better cover him up or her up because they're naked as well. I've got a million other things I could say about this reading, but I'm not going to. Good luck, best wishes, lots of love. Until next time, bye-bye.